What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Raw Stocks. This is Rustic. Today we're going to be taking a look at Tesla's chart. We're going to look at where price came from, where price ended today, and where price is likely to head tomorrow and into the rest of the week. We're through PPI. We got CPI coming up. And that's definitely going to be a market mover tomorrow, so we'll see what happens, but keep that in mind. Before we get started, don't forget to check out the link in the description below. We just launched the Raw Stocks official website. So I'm going to put that in there now instead of putting the Discord link and putting the WAP upgrade. You can access all of that directly from the Raw Stocks website, as well as a contact us section. And there will be more to be developed on the website, but it just helps streamline the process. So there's not so many links going on in the description. You guys will be able to easily access both the Discord and the upgrade site directly from there, as well as the coupon codes will be listed across the top banner as we provide them. Right now we have a 30-day free trial going on our upgrade, plus the 7-day trial that already comes with the monthly upgrade. And so that's 37 days free premium right now. That's a $25 value. And today we closed enough trades to pay for the entire year, even for an entire lifetime membership, which is normally $1,000 for a lifetime upgrade to premium. Without further ado, let's jump into the charts though. Tesla had a nice day. We got the weekly chart pulled up. On the weekly chart, what I want to show you guys is that we have this 20-period moving average. It's coming right around 184.50, 185, give or take. We could find rejection there as we push up to that level this week. Ultimately, if we want to see price continue to another leg up, we want to see a weekly close above 187, 187.33, 187.56 would be ideal, but we want to see us push above that 20 period and above that previous week candle high, the wick high. We want to see a close above that. If we can get above that, we can get that 20 period weekly to start to curl, right? And we could potentially make a run on the weekly 50 period moving average, which is right around 220, 222. And that would be a nice look. We would end up taking out that buy side liquidity that rests in the candle wick from 2 weeks ago, right? And then we would see that push up to 220. Now, obviously, that's not going to happen all at once. This is a weekly chart. We have RSI in our favor, starting to head up. It's above the 14 period moving average on the RSI. So things are looking good. Weekly, we close the gap. No reason to come back down to it. Even if we pop up and come back down, we get maybe inverted head and shoulders look. Right, so let's use our pattern tool. Just take a look at what that looks like, right? Coming down off price, right? We have actually kind of like a complex head and shoulders. Let's just adjust some of that. Doesn't let us do a complex here, but we basically have two right shoulders. So we certainly could, we kind of saw that pop up. We certainly could see price pop back up to that neckline. Right, that'd be around that 200 level, find rejection there, and then pop back down to give us another shoulder, and it could draw out even further than that. We could potentially get a second shoulder just like we have here, but we could see price come all the way down to 160. We could see price hold this shoulder level around the 170, 174 level. We've also popped up and came back down, so it could be a kind of a, not quite as symmetrical there, a little bit offset neckline. Right, that could have been our drop down to our right shoulder, and there we could see the pop up as well. So lots of kind of different ways that could play out, but definitely something that we're looking at. Okay, and again, if we start getting above that 20 period weekly, we're looking for that move up to 221. Now let's go into the daily chart. Daily chart gives us a nice look at what happened today. Right, we saw it wasn't a huge day. But it was a nice move, and it's continuing to confirm what we were talking about yesterday, right? One of these days we're gonna get a really explosive move, right? Hopefully it's to the upside. That's what it looks like right now. No guarantees, but right now we are, 2 days into the week. We have price above the 50 period, which is flattening. We got 20 period moving up, which is going to start to propel us to move higher to make that move to 200 at least, right? We got the buy side liquidity coming in at 187. That's where we want that close to come above this week. We got a few more days for that to play out. CPI could definitely be the driver there. But if we get that 20 period to cross that 50, both of those can turn up, and that can certainly drive us much, much higher. Right now, if we do get slapped back down, because I was looking at gamma levels, at least for the week, and we have some strong negative gamma coming in. And so we also need to be mindful, these red levels here, these red levels are a daily fair value gap. We talked about that in the video yesterday, and we said we could find rejection inside this daily fair value gap. We also have the consequent encroachment, or the mean threshold, or the 50% level of that fair value gap marked. And if you look at today's wick, we got just right above that median, right? That middle level of that fair value gap. That's a very likely target where price can reject, and we did see price reject from that level. Okay, now we could certainly push back up into it. If we start closing daily candles above 182, I'm going to clear out that fair value gap, and we're going to say that fair value gap inverted. And at that point, that fair value gap can hold as support instead of resistance. And so we will reassess the situation if that fair value gap closes with daily candles closing above the fair value gap, right? And if it does, 182.07, we'll be making that push to 185, 187.65 or so on that buy side liquidity, right? But things are looking pretty good for Tesla right now, especially on the high time frame charts. Now, if we drop down into the 1 hour chart, actually, let's go look at the 4 hour, because the 4 hour, I believe, didn't look so great yesterday. And we're still in a similar situation, right? We do have the 50 still pointed up. If we can get above the 50, great. We also now, with today's activity, have a bullish fair value gap. Okay, but we could find ourselves stuck in between these two moving averages, right, and this fair value gap. And we could still pull all the way down to 172.83, 170, something like that. As far as 4 hour candles close, we want to see candles closing above that to remain bullish. But something that we can certainly watch for is to see if we continue to reject, right? We tried to push up through it 3 times, 3 4 hour candles through that 50 period on the 4 hour. We were not able to. We might cycle back down to that 175 level, find support in that fair value gap as we have a 4 hour 20 period starting to curl up, right? We could come back down, test that level one more time, and then break back above, still inside this fair value gap. So we're not in the clear until we clear out that fair value gap entirely. And so we'll see. Again, the 4 hour didn't look great yesterday. We were below some moving averages, right? We were below the 20, below the 50. Well, now we're back above it, but we're caught in the middle of the two. So we need to clear the 50 period, which is right around where we close. So if we do get that drawback down to 175, could look to take those long entries. Again, June, July positions is what I'd be looking for. If you're looking for swings, because it's a 4 hour chart, long time frame. So you're going to want to take those trades further out, and you can go at the money, you can go out of the money. I've been taking 200 calls for June and July, trimmed some today. We had some of the call outs go for over 100% total on the July calls, and that was over only 2 days. So huge return on the investment, with lots of time still left on that trade, right? So trim the position, haven't added to it. If we get a drop back down to 175, I'll add another 5 contracts to both of those, possibly look at even taking some August or September calls as well. But if we get that drawback down to 175, 174, I will be entering longer dated calls again. And then we'll see the stop loss will basically be right below that 172, 173 level. Let's jump over to the 1 hour chart. 1 hour chart also looks good. Right, 1 hour chart, we got a order block that sits above right here at 184 up to 185.5. We're above the moving averages. We're not too far blown off the 20 period. We got RSI still in our favor, right? RSI still pointing up, hasn't, it hit an overbought territory, kind of out of that pump this morning, recycled back down, pushing back up, right? That push back up can take us back to close out that fair value gap or find rejection near the top of that fair value gap, right? Or push us back into that order block around 184, 185. So lots of positive things looking. If you pull out a little bit more on the 1 hour chart, see, we got our nice correction right? And this correction can now drive us back up because it looks like it's completed. We kind of toyed around, got below the moving averages. Now we're back above. If we can stay above these moving averages, 50 periods curled back up. Any test on the 50, if you're trading the 1 hour chart, and these are going to be like 3 to 5 weeks, maybe 6 to 8 weeks, maybe less time than if you were trading the 4 hour or daily chart. But any test we get back to the 50 period can be your entry point to go long and target some of these above buy side liquidity, order blocks, or the fair value gap high. We'll look at the 15-minute chart now. 15-minute chart shows us some of our time macros, right? And basically what we got was that face ripper. We had, out of the gate, pushed up, made another push up, closed some of our call outs up here at the top here. Then we got our cycle back down. We never ran a test of the 50, and the 50 is catching up. 15-minute, we're above the moving averages as well. We got RSI in our favor, right? It looks like we're going to make that push up to close this fair value gap and then up to some of the higher time frame targets. Last thing we'll do, we'll drop into the 1 minute chart. 1 minute chart can give us a good look at a trade that we took today. We were again writing out some calls that we entered on Monday, and these were 200 out of the money, June and July. We took those and like I said, we trimmed some of them back up here at the top. But actually we trimmed them on that first rip and then we came back down. But here's the entry that we took. Okay. There was a large fair value gap right here. And let me put it on the chart so you guys can see where it was. But we had a large fair value gap. Okay. And we drew back down into it. And I took the entry around here. Now we did draw a little bit deeper and technically it closed it. I think there was also a fair value gap on the 5 minute chart I was looking at, but we set our stop loss here. It was a 2-to-1 RVR, right? And we let that trade play out a little bit. You can see it hit it plus a little bit right up into an order block, found rejection in that order block, right? And then came back down. So good target, good hit, closed out, pretty big profit on that one. It was a 50% trade for just a day trade. So a really nice setup there in that bullish fair value gap, or that return to the bullish fair value gap. Later on in the day, grabbed the same contract, wrote it for another 20%. Don't remember exactly where it was. It was about an hour till market closed. So it would have been right around 3 o'clock here. Just saw price continuing to kind of respect that. I had seen price come back down to this fair value gap. I didn't get my entry right there. I was a little late to it. I was doing some things at work, but I did catch it over here. Wrote it up for a nice 20%, couple 200. I closed it for about $300 profit. I got a nearly perfect exit on that one as well. And then we, ended up closing. Wasn't a horrible close. Wasn't an amazing close either. You can see as we ran up into the final aftermarket on TradingView, we ended up getting our close here at 178.40. I predicted 178.18. So we got pretty close. But either way, pretty nice day on Tesla. A lot of trading opportunities there. Hopefully you guys caught some of them. Again, if you're not a member of the Raw Stocks trading community, it's free to join, even if you're not a premium member. If you don't want the call outs, it's a free community. We're having a lot of fun. A lot of traders in there just talking shop during market hours, sometimes after hours as well. And then we got the premium side, $25 for the upgrade. Right now we got the 100% off 1 month to just try us out, see how you like us, see if the call outs work for your trading style. But we have a lot of traders making a lot of money just off the call outs alone. And like I said, today's closed trades were thousands of dollars, over $2,000 in closed trades. And that would have paid for more than obviously 1 month of premium. That would have even paid for an entire year or entire lifetime premium membership just in one trading day. So not every day is like that, but it's really cool when it does work out like that. So don't forget to like, subscribe, share with all your friends. I appreciate all the support you guys offer, continuing to watch the videos, continuing to support the Discord channel. So until next time, good luck on your trading, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.